Hey, bet you didn't think you were gonna see my ugly mug around here again, huh? Surprise, So now it's 2025, and like I did last year, I have put together a little compilation of the shorts I made in 2024. But before I let your eyes and brain absorb that and then quickly decay, I want to shout out some of my supporters who help keep this channel going. Big thank yous to Andrew Littleton, Abu Kitty Chris, Bionic Link, Greyman, and Shinare. And shoutouts to my honorary aliens. These folks are the ones who choose the topics for my videos, so if you want to be a part of that, consider supporting me at patreon.com/aspacealienexplains. Besides voting on video topics, becoming a member of my Patreon also gets you access to the patrons-only chat, early release videos, uncensored videos, work-in-progress previews, work files, monthly art commissions, and more. I also have a free tier available if you would like a notification in your inbox when I post new videos or artwork publicly. So if you have any interest in that, or are just curious to see what else is available, go to patreon.com/aspacealienexplains. You can also follow me on Twitter, Blue Sky, and Instagram. I am also selling custom art and animations on VGen. Last but not least, remember to like, share, and subscribe. Now on to whatever this is. Did you know that the oldest observatory in Asia was built by a Korean queen? Because I sure didn't. Queen Seondok of Shilla was the first female ruler of Korea, and her reign was marked by a flourishing of the arts and sciences. Seondok was a clever lady herself, as she inherited the throne based solely on her intellect. Not everyone agreed with having a woman as a ruler, so she went those guys and began implementing policies that included tax exemptions for peasants, tax reductions for the middle class, and improvement in the care of widows and widowers, orphans, the poor, and the elderly. So how did she end up building this? Seondok took up an interest in astronomy at a time when it wasn't common for women to be educated. In fact, when she used her skills to predict a solar eclipse, it pissed off the Chinese ambassador, who demanded she take up more feminine activities. So she went and did the most feminine thing possible, building a whole observatory. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed. Here's a list of exoplanets that would absolutely kick my ass. This pretty planet is HD 189733b. If you decide to take a stop here, you will be torn into 1,000 pieces. It rains glass on this planet, but the glass is also caught in winds 7 times faster than the speed of sound. The planet's just a giant blender. WASP-12b is a planet that sits so close to its parent star, gravity has deformed it into the shape of an egg. The star looked at this giant egg and decided, hey, that looks pretty good, and started eating it. That's right, WASP-12b is being torn apart by its own star, and will be gone in about 10 million years. Korat-7b is the first confirmed rocky exoplanet found, but don't let that fool you. This is nowhere near the same as Earth. For starters, the planet is so hot it turns rocks into gas. The clouds are also made of rock, and it rains pebbles. Korat-7b is actually hell. This might be where we go when we die. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed. Moments in history I'm obsessed with. A rocket scientist and his friend got together to summon a goddess, and it worked! Jack Parsons created a special rocket fuel that allowed shuttles to actually make it into space. Huge for NASA. Parsons was also an occultist, and at some point he gained an interest in bringing the Scarlet Woman on Earth. Parsons performed a series of rituals with a friend that involved chanting, playing classical music, and it to some magical tablets. The friend's role was to act as a scribe, so he was responsible for relaying any messages he picked up on the astral. Yeah, I don't know, you just had to be there. Jack Parsons and his friend did meet a woman named Marjorie Cameron, and she happened to have red hair. A Scarlet Woman, perhaps? So magic works, whatever. Here's the really insane part. You want to know who Jack Parsons' friend was? L. Ron Hubbard. Jack Parsons would go on to blow himself up in a freak accident, and this mother would become the founder of Scientology. Like and subscribe to save my sanity. I need to talk about St. Hildegard of Bingen. Like any church leader in the 12th century, she wrote some rather harsh condemnations of homosexuality, but then she turns around and goes, "Some women are inclined to plumpness and have soft and delectable flesh and slender veins, and in love's embraces are themselves lovable." She also did writings on the female and wasn't burned at the stake for suggesting females can have She also seemed to have some really intense feelings for her assistant, Richardus von Stade. When Richardus left the convent to lead another convent far away, Hildegard wrote in a letter, "I love the nobility of your conduct, your wisdom, and your chastity, your soul and the whole of your life, so much that many said, 'What are you doing?'" When Richardus died, her brother wrote to Hildegard acknowledging the love these women had for each other. Hildegard responded, saying she cherished her with divine love, and then wrote about Richardus's beauty. Here's an image of the cosmos from one of Hildegard's visions. Yes, your eyes do not deceive you. That is the divine. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed. Okay, hear me out. We should get sacks full of snakes, put the bankers in them, and then huck the into the river. Who's with me? 1720 saw the world's first financial crash, all thanks to the South Sea Company. The South Sea Company was given exclusive trading rights with Spanish colonies in return for taking on the national debt incurred by Britain from the War of the Spanish Succession. It was believed that after the war, trade with Spanish colonies would explode. After all, South America had heaps of gold and silver waiting to be imported to Europe. Investors needed to get in on the ground floor if they wanted to be filthy, stinkin' rich. You see where this is going? Then Spain decided to pull an outstanding move and only allow one trading ship a year. Needless to say, that bubble popped. People immediately went bankrupt, Isaac Newton lost like £20,000, and Parliament opened an investigation. A member even suggested going back to old ways, and by old ways, he meant to pena cule every son of a involved. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed. Hey Vibby, why is there an occult book hosted on the CIA website? The Secret Teachings of All Ages by Manly P. Hall is a massive encyclopedia of esoteric and occult knowledge ranging from zodiac signs to Kabbalah, to alchemy, to ceremonial magic, to Christian mysticism, to the teachings of Pythagoras and Hermes Trismegistus, to secret societies like the Freemasons and the Rosicrucians. The dude was busy, so why is this book on the CIA servers? You'll never believe where this goes. In 2011, there was a raid on Osama bin Laden's compound, and in the years after that, the intelligence community started publicly releasing documents that were found inside the compound. The Secret Teachings of All Ages happened to be one of the texts on bin Laden's bookshelf. You didn't see that coming, did ya? So I've just been reading bin Laden's copy of The Secret Teachings of All Ages then? That's Like and subscribe if you enjoyed, and support me on Patreon for more. Who is Baphomet? Or as I like to call him, the world's scariest furry. The first mentions of Baphomet can be found in a letter written by Anselm of Ribemont in 1098, where he described the siege of Antioch during the First Crusade. According to Anselm, the Turks had called loudly upon Baphomet. Some scholars believed the name written here was some kind of mistake, and it was actually supposed to be Muhammad, the founder of Islam. So yeah, it's possible Baphomet exists because someone misheard a name once. What the is a Baphomet? I don't get it, must be evil. The modern image of Baphomet that we all know today came from Eliphas Levy's 1856 book, The Doctrine and Ritual of High Magic. This depiction of Baphomet is inspired by Herodotus's god of Mendes, mixed in with some ideas found in Kabbalah, alchemy, and Hermeticism. Occultists began incorporating Baphomet into their work, most notably in the Thelema religion founded by Aleister Crowley, and in the Rider-Waite-Smith tarot deck. From there, Baphomet made his way into the pop culture, appearing in music, video games, movies, television, and, in the form of a statue next to the Ten Commandments. Twice. That's happened at least twice. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed, and support me on Patreon for more.